Is Samsung finally about to launch the One UI 8 beta program? All signs are now pointing to yes, and it may be just around the corner. Not long ago, reports suggested that Samsung could kick off the One UI 8 beta sometime in May. And now, there's more proof that it's happening soon. Samsung has quietly added a dedicated beta subforum for the Galaxy S25 series on its US community website. That's usually one of the first steps the company takes before rolling out the beta software. This makes it pretty clear that Samsung is getting ready to launch testing for its next major software update. As usual, it looks like US users will be among the first to get access to the beta, followed by Korea. These two countries almost always lead the beta testing phase. After that, the beta is expected to expand to Germany, India, Poland, China, and the UK, just like previous years. Right now, the beta program appears to be focused only on the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra. Interestingly, there's no mention of the S25 Edge model, which has been rumored to replace the Plus version. If that's true, it might not get early beta access. And going by history, Samsung usually skips fan edition models from early beta programs too. So what's the big deal with One UI 8? Honestly, it might be one of the smallest upgrades in Samsung's history. So far, there aren't many major new features revealed. Some users who've seen early builds even say that One UI 8 looks and feels very similar to One UI 7. Of course, things could still change before the final release, but for now, it's more about polish and stability than flashy new tools. Still, even if it's a minor update, beta access is a great way to try the software early and see how it works. And if you're using one of Samsung's newer flagship phones, like the Galaxy S24 Ultra or other 2024 models, you might be able to join the beta later in the process. Samsung hasn't confirmed exact dates yet, but if Google's Android timeline is any indication, the official rollout of One UI 8 could happen by the end of the third quarter, sometime around September. That means Samsung has just a few months to test everything and fix any issues. So, don't be surprised if the beta is only made available to a small group of devices this time. For now, if you have a Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, or S25 Ultra, you're likely at the front of the line. If you're in the US or Korea, keep an eye out. Beta access could be opening up very soon. You'll probably see the option to sign up inside the Samsung Members app, just like in previous years. So, is One UI 8 going to blow your mind with new features? Maybe not. But it's still worth keeping an eye on, especially if you're someone who likes testing new software early or just wants a smoother experience with your Galaxy phone. To stay updated with more news like this, and to catch all the upcoming One UI 8 beta details as they drop, like this video and subscribe to our channel. We've got more updates coming soon, so don't miss out. There's been a lot of rumors about Samsung's next foldable phones, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Flip 7, especially when it comes to how thin they'll be. Some rumors even claim the Fold 7 could become the thinnest foldable phone in the world. But how accurate is that? Let's clear it up. Thanks to accurate CAD files that recently surfaced, we now know the actual measurements of both these foldables. And while they're definitely slimmer than most phones out there, Samsung isn't breaking any world records this time. Starting with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, when it's fully unfolded, it measures 4.54 millimeters thick. Fold it, and it comes in at 9 millimeters. Now that's really slim, but not quite enough to take the top spot. It's just 0.1 millimeters thicker than the Oppo Find N5, which still holds the title for the thinnest foldable phone on the market. 2. Give you a better idea, the full dimensions of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 are 158.43 millimeters tall, 143.14 millimeters wide, and 4.54 millimeters thick when opened. It also keeps the same triple camera setup on the back, with each camera having its own ring, all stacked vertically on a slim camera island. Now, onto the Galaxy Z Flip 7. Here, things aren't changing much compared to last year's Flip 6. The new Flip is 6.94 millimeters thick when unfolded, exactly the same as the Flip 6. Folded, it measures 9.17 millimeters, including the camera bump. The full size of the Flip 7 is 166.61 millimeters tall, 75.23 millimeters wide, and 6.84 millimeters thick when lying flat. So, in terms of design, it's basically unchanged. But Samsung made a different upgrade that might actually matter more to users. Instead of focusing on shaving off a fraction of a millimeter, Samsung increased the battery capacity of the Flip 7. It now comes with a 4300 mAh battery, which is 300 mAh more than the Flip 6. That's a smart move, especially since battery life has always been a concern for Flip-style foldables. Samsung likely realized that their flip phones are already thin enough when compared to competitors. So instead of chasing thinness, they're giving users better battery life, which is something people actually care about. As for the Fold 7, while it might not be the thinnest foldable ever, it's still shaping up to be one of the most compact and powerful devices in this category. Combined with a large 8.2-inch inner screen, improved build, and possibly a Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, it should still stand out in the foldable space. So, to answer the big question, how thin are the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Flip 7? Pretty thin, but not the thinnest ever. And that's totally fine, because Samsung seems to be balancing design and practicality instead of just chasing headlines. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on Samsung's foldables and everything else in the tech world. Is the Galaxy S26 going to be worse in Europe? Well, if the latest leaks are true, that might just be the case. Samsung could be bringing back one of its most controversial decisions, using different chips for different regions. And if you're in Europe, you might be getting the short end of the stick. Earlier this year, Samsung used only Qualcomm chips across the entire Galaxy S25 lineup. The powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 was in every model, in every country. That was a big deal because it meant everyone got the same performance and battery life, no matter where they lived. But now, reports are saying that with the Galaxy S26, Samsung might not stick to that strategy. Instead, they might go back to splitting their phones by region, just like they did in the past. According to several reliable sources online, Europe may get the Galaxy S26 with Samsung's new Exynos 2600 chip, while other markets like the US and Asia will get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. And this is where the concern comes in. This wouldn't be the first time Samsung has done this. Back in 2022, the Galaxy S22 series had the Exynos 2200 in Europe, while other regions got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. The problem? The Exynos version didn't perform as well. It was slower, had lower graphics performance, and didn't manage heat or battery as efficiently. That led to a lot of user complaints, especially in Europe. People felt like they were paying the same price but getting a worse product. Samsung seemed to listen after that. The Galaxy S23 used Snapdragon chips worldwide, and even the Galaxy S25 this year followed that all-Snapdragon approach again. But, now, with the Galaxy S26, it looks like they might split it again. So why is this happening? According to leaks, it might be because of production issues. Samsung is using a new 2-nanometer manufacturing process for the Exynos 2600, and the early production yields are reportedly low. This means they can't make enough chips yet, so they might only use the Exynos version in certain regions, like Europe, where they think they can handle demand better. Now here's where it gets even more confusing. Some reports say this: chip split may not apply to every S26 model. The Galaxy S26 Ultra might still get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 everywhere, while only the regular S26 and S26 Plus get the Exynos chip in Europe. And that raises a fair question. Why always Europe? Samsung hasn't officially said why they pick Europe for the Exynos models when they do this split. Some think it has to do with cost or supply chain logistics. Others believe it's because the European market is more willing to accept changes. Like this, even if it means slightly lower performance. To be clear, none of this is confirmed by Samsung yet. These are still leaks and rumors, so it's important to take them with a grain of salt.